Welcome to Fight and Focus, your home for all things fighting. On this week's episode, you'll see some of the most intense matches we've had to date. Get ready for the best boxing we have to offer with Golden Boy's LA Fight Club. Jump into the UK's toughest cage with UC MMA. Strap in tight for one of MMA's top organizations, M1. You do not want to miss this, MMA fans. Get ready for some serious pro wrestling action with Ring of Honor. Champions face champions as Dalton Castle and Kenny King go head-to-head with the Briscoes. And remember to fight like you mean it. You're watching M1 Challenge 89.
As the backup plan.
Спортсмен в красном гурыже представляет Российскую Федерацию, столицу смешанных боевых единоборств России, город Санкт-Петербург, команду Fite Pro. В красном углу Никита Солонин.
С ним во тьму иду, полный им туда вперед. Стоит где грозный вид, мне потянутся худые больные кроны. И в мой путь в ту степь знаю, беру путь мой рэп дарю. Будто лучше брат сел сам, что кулака на головой нам всем знать. Я понял, недовольный сотни, сильно больно полный. Пропуская руки, пищи, довольно больно. Кто-то будет пуган, но я пуган, пуган.
Никита Солонин, Россия!
From Russia, Nikita Solonin. All 4 of his pro MMA fights have ended by way of finish. 2 victories by TKO, 1 victory by sub. His lone loss as professional MMA fighter by way of TKO. Solonin, an extremely aggressive fighter, told me that he wants a very fast start. He wants to make Tariku move backwards from the start of this bout. Solonin said in our fighter meeting, I'm willing to take chances to get the big highlight reel finish.
Рано поутру, в руках держу любовь, молчу. Я просто не дышу, трою пряди жгучей рукой. Просто не гладить лучше всего, но лимона в Питере здесь за рекой. Сон собирают мужиков. Ходит караван,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an M1 challenge bout in the featherweight division. Introducing your fighter in the blue corner. This fighter is 34 years old. He weighed in at 65.8 kilograms. He stands 174 centimeters tall and has an unbeaten record of 3 wins and no losses. Representing KO Gym from Israel, Elizar! Now welcome his opponent in the red corner. This fighter is 24 years old. He weighed in at 65.7 kilograms. He stands 174 centimeters tall and has a record of 3 wins with only 1 loss. Representing Fite Pro Team from St. Petersburg, Russia, Nikita Solonin! And your referee, Nikolai Sharipov.
Fighters will stand up. You guys are professional. Respect each other. Abs rules, okay? Remount in the back, not working. Elbow to your head, not working. In the spine, not work. Knee to the head, only standing. Do not grab the rope. Do not grab equipment. Listen to my comments. Shook hands. Good luck.
In the featherweight division, Elizar Tariku versus Nikita Solonin.
Judge, are you ready? Are you ready? Fight!
Touch of hands, round number 1. Black trunks for both fighters, blue glove tape for Tariku, red glove tape for Solonin.
Lots of different level changes there for Takuru.
Very wide open striking stance for Tariku.
He knows his head is not in the same position, though his hands are definitely not in the same position. Dropping his levels, head movement. Sometimes they can do that just to put them off the game plan, but nice head movement there. He moved out the way. Solonin tried but missed. Oh, nice, strong. Oh, went for the single but missed it.
Big hammer fist from Solonin.
That's it.
And that's it. Just like that, stopped by Nikolai Sharipov.
Quick.
Tariku is furious in the win for the elated Nikita Solonin.
That was unbelievably quick stopping.
After the break, Fight and Focus continues. This is LA Fight Club on Fight and Focus.
Over. They told John Leone in the morning, hey, go have some breakfast. We're going to have to figure out a new contract. They were able to get the agreement.
Looking at Bojado, for this fight to actually take place, they probably told Leon to have lunch and breakfast. Jason, just looking at the body of Bojado, doesn't he just look heavy?
Yeah, without a doubt, he doesn't look like your typical boxer that struggled to make his weight and, that had to do a lot of dieting and sweating and cutting the water weight and everything.
Jason, what do you fight at?
I fight at 160.
Yeah. That's all we have to say. And all that stuff you described, cutting weight, dropping water weight, going into the sun, I don't think any of that occurred with Bojado. And I think one thing that I've learned about really good fighters, Jason, is that boxing is not just a profession, it truly is a lifestyle, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to live the life, inside and outside the ring. You got to be disciplined, and if you are disciplined, as you will know, the fighters that are disciplined outside the ring will show the discipline inside the ring as well. And this is going to be a test for both these fighters tonight, I think, because it's not often you get 2 1-0 fighters fighting each other this early on in their career.
One thing that's very noticeable, guys, is Leon is much taller and rangier. If he establishes that jab, he can really make things easier for him on the outside just by sticking out that stick consistently.
And we don't pull any punches here on the broadcast. Angel Bojado has been on our bout sheet during the week. Steve and I or Doug Fisher, we get notes sent to us. Here's the bout sheet. Here's who's fighting. I believe 3 times, Steve, we've had Angel Bojado on our notes where the fight never happened. And it's not us making fun of him. It's just a matter of fact that he hasn't done his part of the job.
He is the disappearing boxer. People ask me, what weight class is he? And I just say, I don't know. He just can't wait to eat. I mean, it really is that simple. And I remember Bojado, his older brother, Panchito Bojado, represented the 2000 Mexican Olympic team in Sydney. And I thought he was as good a prospect as there was, and he started off very quickly in his pro career. And there used to be a young kid that used to shadow box into the ring with him. That used to be this young man right here, Angel Bojado, how quickly they grow up.
I've heard about Bojado. I've always heard that he has talent and skills. As a matter of fact, how would he handle it as a professional? Here he is against John Leone, 1-0 with that 1 KO from Bogota, Colombia, now living in Southern California. Stablemate of Pablo Rubio Jr., the Shark. You see his management company, Shark Sports, across his trunks. Bojado, his only fight was last year. He signed with Golden Boy almost 2 years ago.
And Jason, from right here, Bojado really can't do much, can he?
This is what I was just going to say. Coming into this fight, Leon's going to get away. I switched my thinking. I was like, okay, I've had over 250 amateur fights. I'm going to take this fight as an amateur fight. And I was going to get in there, start fast, catch a judge's eyes, and just make sure that there was no slips, no knockdowns or anything like that. Because obviously in a 4-round fight, one knockdown can change the whole fight. So it's very important for Leon to understand that and to use his distance. And it's all about getting the one right here now tonight.
Jason, as you build up your endurance and your seasoning as a pro, is it easier to fight 10-round fights psychologically than the pressure of jamming everything into 4 rounds?
That all depends on the person themselves and on the fighter. Everybody's made different, of course. And some people will like the quick, fast pace of 4 rounds or 3 rounds as it is now. It's 3 threes in the amateurs. And other fighters like to get into things, have a bit of time to set themselves, to eye up their fighter, to feel them out and everything like that, and prefer the 10-round fight. So it really depends on the fighter themselves. But for me personally, I really enjoyed the 3 threes, and I think I can adapt well now to the 10 threes or 12 threes.
That is the voice of Jason Quigley, who headlines ESPN March 23rd against Glenn Tapia. Use the hashtag RingTVLive, and we will try to get you your shout-outs. Appreciate everybody sending us tweets. They're watching us in Colombia right now. La esposa de John León, Diana, y su niño Dominic, de 3 años. También saludos a José Elías, el papá de John León. They're also watching us in Verona, as Carla Lustenau and Shauna Davis and Robin Gaspari are watching us. Golden Boy was there on Saturday for David Lemieux and Curtis Stevens. That's where Will Wright is going on the red eye tonight. And John León looked very comfortable in this second round.
Beto, I think he's having a very big second round. He's established the distance. Everything's been working off the jab, and he's clipped him with some very strong right hands here. I think Bojado needs to get going here. I think he's on the verge of being down 2-0.
Bojado pro debut August 5th, 2016, went the distance against Yuri Silverio. John Sanchez Leon had a first round KO of Jose Huerta last July. That was in India. And that was a fight at 146.
And Jason, anytime John León just does that, sticking out even a token jab, boy, Bojado has a very tough time breaching that airspace, doesn't he?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Leon had a great phase in the fight there where he was outboxing him at distance and Bojado was falling into the shots. And then as soon as he started catching him, he started pressuring the fight. Why is he pressuring the fight? He has the fight under control of his hands. He has it at distance, and that's the way he should keep it. He doesn't want to mix it up and get in there and get caught with a silly shot that might knock him down or anything like that, or a trip. He's doing it perfect as it is. There's no need to mix it up in my eyes.
And guys, I think it's 2-0, 20-18, and we are...
Blue side has a manager with Meta World Peace and Pablo Rubio Sr.
And Beto, we all know that Meta World Peace loves a good fight.
Oh, yes, he does.
Malice at the Palace. Who can forget that, huh?
But Bojado, a Golden Boy fighter, so if you can go and beat one of those guys in front of Roberto Diaz, the matchmaker, and other Golden Boy brass, that opens up some eyes. These guys are hungry, especially at the Belasco. Because if you fought there, guys come in trying to rip your head off because they know they can make it. You have a target on your back if you're a Golden Boy guy.
Of course, and that's their perfect opportunity. And plus, it's a small ring, it's a small venue. It has a great atmosphere, so it can get you hyped up very quickly. A few roars and shouts from the crowd, and you get an extra level and an extra gear in your engine.
The voice of Jason El Animal Quigley, middleweight for Golden Boy. What's your record?
12-0 right now with 10 knockouts.
Oh, come on, say it right. 12-0.
LA Fight Club continues after the break. You're watching LA Fight Club on Fight and Focus.
Atmosphere, so it can get you hyped up very quickly. A few roars and shouts from the crowd, and you get an extra level and an extra gear in your engine.
The voice of Jason El Animal Quigley, middleweight for Golden Boy. What's your record?
12-0 right now with 10 knockouts.
Oh, come on, say it right. 12-0 with how many knockouts?
You know it better. It's 12-0 with 10 devastating knockouts.
I told you I'm going to set you up, make you look good tonight. Doesn't sound like it's your first time on a microphone. Angel Bojado, 23 years old from East LA, in the brown and white. John Leon with that good lather from Bogota, Colombia. Is Leon the aggressor? Oh, he is with that one hand.
Listen, when he establishes that jab, and I think Jason's right, the only way he could lose this fight is basically by hanging a curveball. If he gets a little greedy on the inside, because when they're chest to chest, that's where Bojado can have success. He's not a very tall guy, doesn't have a lot of range. If they're outside, Beto, I think that John Leon can really just pick his way apart, literally using one hand, that being the left.
Veronica Vitella watching this in Montebello says, good job, Quigley. I'm enjoying him. Wildcard King, Jerry Casares. Nice job, fellas. Thanks to everybody watching us. Less than a minute to go in the third round. John Leon, there you see the Colombia on the back. He started boxing at the age of 11, did Leon. Favorite fighters, Oscar and Tito. So don't ask me to choose one, though. Picking up the pace here, that he found that other gear you were talking about, Jason.
Yeah, you know, I think that's the crowd, that's the small atmosphere. And, you know, I think he's doing perfect, and I think possibly he could get the stoppage if he keeps pushing the fight. But why take that risk in a 4-round fight? You know, he's doing perfect, he's looking good, and that's exactly what I'm sure he wanted to do tonight in front of Golden Boy, in front of Robert Diaz.
Well, there's an old phrase, Jason, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think he's just steadily breaking down Bojado, and if you look now, I think there is blood coming from the nose of Bojado, so he's starting to show the effects of what's been a very steady attack. And another good right hand from Leon.
Final seconds of the third round, scheduled for 4. Another good right by the Colombian Leon here at the Velasco Theater, the 2-year anniversary of the LA Fight Golden Boy fighter, the Colombian. He might as well be the conduit, the guy who might be getting a little cut on all these Colombian dudes that are coming. But Leon had dreams of going to the Olympics. That felt, and as soon as that happened, when he was eliminated in one of the world competitions, he made a phone call, said, I want to go to the United States. He left behind his wife. Video chats with her every single day. And Jason, you made the same decision. Leave your family. How hard is that when the first year adjusted?
To be honest, the first few months is amazing.
Oh, really?
You're out here in LA and everything.
The word is freedom.
Yeah, you know, you're out here in LA, everything looks great and it's amazing, you know, and it's something new, it's a new experience.
Okay.
But you know, after a while, you start to miss your family, your friends, and your local takeaways, and you know, the simple things of life back at home. But you know, when you have a job and you have a goal and a target for yourself, you know, that gets you by every day.
John Leon has a goal and a target. He's letting his hands go here in the fourth round. Angel Bojado trying to go with him, but his punches, there's no pop on.
Well, you ever heard of the phrase marshmallows to a battleship?
No.
You just did, because this is what happens when you fight out of your weight against a guy who's naturally bigger and was actually in better shape to begin with you. Bojado's punches just don't seem to have any real effect on Leon. I think Leon's fought a pretty good fourth round here. Certainly not sitting on the lead, Jason. He seems to be pretty assertive. Hard right hands after establishing the jab.
You know, it's easy for me to say which way he should box sitting here, but I don't know what's going on with Leon. Like, he wants to come here, he wants to make a statement.
Yeah.
You know, as you says, he doesn't have a promoter. He's right here now on a Golden Boy show fighting a Golden Boy fighter with Robert Diaz sitting in the front row. He obviously wants to go out there and show them there's something special.
And we have to be honest, Bojado is quote-unquote the house fighter. My scorecard is highly unofficial. But again, another good right hand by Leon.
Yeah, you know, he's catching Bojado very comfortably, you know, especially with that backhand, and he's boxing a perfect fight here, you know what I mean? If he just keeps it nice and long now, stays out of trouble, Bojado's going to fall into his shots, and Bojado's punches.
Boy, he just looks winded. Yeah. He really does, Bojado. He looks like a guy that didn't do a day of road work coming into this bout.
Well, Steve, he had to lose weight to get to lose weight. To get to a new weight agreement. And basically, he had to lose a lot of weight to get this fight done. Sal Sanchez, the amateur out in India, watching us tonight. You don't have to worry about losing weight. He might be fighting April 1st, the younger brother of Emilio Sanchez, out there with Toño and Joel Diaz, where tomorrow night, Joel's fighter, Diego De La Hoya, will be fighting in Verona. And then the card to Lemieux and Stevens. A good night of action for John Sanchez Leon, fighter from Bogota, Colombia. Underdog. It didn't look like it. The final seconds of the fourth round. Leon fighting above his weight class. didn't seem to take a toll on him at all. And he was done with 4, and the fight is over.
I would be stunned if that young man from Colombia did not get his hand raised in victory. I don't even know if Bojado actually won a round. I thought he was in command from the very beginning. Jason, he established the jab from the outside, then he came downhill with overhand rights, and I thought he finished the fight very strong.
Without a doubt, he established the jab, which every coach should tell their boxer is the key to the door. You know what I mean? It opened everything up, and that's exactly what it did for Leon tonight. It opened up that backhand, and he landed it beautifully numerous of times in each round.
And I think this is the action from the final round where he was not sitting on his lead. I thought he put an exclamation point to what was a very solid performance, and he just seemed to be the better conditioned guy. He had a little bit more left in the gas tank, and quite frankly, Bojado really didn't show much throughout the night. Jason, if you're Bojado, it's obvious you don't have an appetite.
After 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Los tres jueces, Carla Cais, Lou Moret y Jerry Candu, tienen las tarjetas 39-37. All 3 judges have scored the same, 39-37. For your winner by the way of unanimous decision, su ganador por la vía de la decisión unánime, John Leon Sanchez.
Yep. Beto, I thought it was an easy call. I thought it was obvious. Chick Hearn would have said you could have called that in Braille.
You can see the emotion on the face of John Sanchez. Leaving his country, leaving his wife, his kid, his family. He said this was a huge opportunity he couldn't afford to lose.
Beto, I think he may have just earned himself.
Up next, we have intense MMA action with UC MMA. We're back with UC MMA.
At the chin and his rolling head, dreads, legs and eyes and lips, another bit, not chewing on the melon, but I swallowed the pit, leaving bodies on their back as I feel it on drip, going home with their girls and kissing the bit, feeling tremors in my body going straight to my brain. Now you're fired to the cage, tell me what is the game? Boom! I'm not far to the final cage, but I'm hard as hell. We share up. I'm not far to the final cage, but I'm hard as hell. I'm not far to the final cage, but I'm hard as hell. We stand up. I'm not far to the final cage, but I'm hard as hell. Throwing kicks and frying punches that come from the waist, and I'm looking forward for your blood to be spraying the place. Never hated anything as much as I'm hating your face. They had your blood in the crowd, let them have a taste. Ripping the flesh to the bone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. 3 rounds of mixed martial arts fighting in the featherweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist and brings with him into the cage a record of 3 wins, opposite 3 defeats. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. His official weight, 77 kilograms. He's an independent fighter. Here is John Spanner. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, This man is a mixed martial artist and brings with him into the cage a record of 7 wins, opposite 4 defeats. He stands 6 feet tall. His official weight 77.4 kilograms. He's fighting out of the People's Team. Here is Umar Bullet Tooth Kiani. And when the action begins, your referee in charge is Sam the Man Almighty.
So here we go, Grant. This one, a big match for Umar. As he said, he's been out of the cage for a while.
Yep, he fought a year ago, but prior to that, Rob, he hadn't fought for about at least a year prior to that, so he's only had 1 fight in the past 2 years. He does train consistently, but he's going to have a little bit of cage rust to get rid of today. Let's see how he fares. John Spencer, he's a good stand-up fighter, you know.
Umar with good reach advantage, though, on the shorter man.
Spencer there, he looked like he's sort of playing a bit of a rope-a-dope, absorbing some shots, but you don't want to take too many of those in these MMA gloves.
Umar looking for that guillotine. He goes in deep.
He's sunk it in, you know.
Looks to be deep. Pulls it up, it's over. Then attacks before any damage is done. And it's another guillotine choke win for Umar.
Well, that was a quick finish. We've seen him finish guys with a guillotine before, Andy Connor being one of them. And he looked composed, confident, and not very rusty at all there. I'm sure John Spencer will learn a lesson from that and come back stronger. But another good win for the People's Champion, Umar Kiani.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 25 seconds in the very first round. As our referee, Sam Almighty, called stop to this contest, declaring your winner by tap out due to guillotine choke, fighting out of the blue corner, Umar Bullet Tooth Kiani. And your runner-up is John Spencer.
Umar, congratulations. Perfect choke at the end there. You kept yourself composed. I know sometimes you get yourself in a bit of a state, but you've been out of the cage for a little while now. I feel like you've, taken yourself back to the gym, focused on yourself. As you said yesterday, everyone loves someone that's an enemy, but you don't want to be that guy no more, right?
Definitely not. First of all, I want to say thank you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mom, I love you with all my heart. Thank you for being my backbone since day one. Obviously, she's very ill. That plays in my mind. And what else I was going to say? Thank you to everybody there to support me. And sometimes winning and losing means nothing when you've got so much love and support from around the world, which is I'm a blessed man. And love you to all the boys there, Imran Khan, Alex Lahore, the Bama World Champ, Ozzy, my boy, Amakani, Kiani Captain Slough. And thank you everybody, enjoyed the rest of the show as well. UBT Kiani out!
Umar Kiani out? Unbelievable! Unbelievable! I say, Grant, come here, the fights have been fast and furious. But remember one thing, Grant. It just takes
You nearly forgot that one thing.
Pause it for that. One thing. One mistake and it could be over in a second.
So many ways to win, so many ways to lose, Dave. Take half the ball in here, and it's good night, Irene.
Good night, Irene. But listen, we've got many more fights to come. They could be long, they could be short. But one thing, they're going to happen. Okay, this next one is on the big screen now.
Up next, Ring of Honor Wrestling. You're watching Ring of Honor Wrestling.
Dalton Castle, the world champion, first time teaming in 2-on-2 competition.
Yeah, and the reality here is we're gonna, for the most part, we're going to see a champion lose a match right here in Las Vegas.
Colt, you brought up a great point as we see the sold-out crowd here at Sam's Town Live, Fight Capital of the World, Las Vegas. 4 champions in this match, which means a champion has to lose.
Somebody's gonna lose, and someone's gonna be a champion. Marty, who do you think that's gonna be?
Do you know what? I don't really care. I got streamers for being a commentator. That's how popular I am here in Ring of Honor.
That was Dalton Castle's streamer.
Keep your mouth quiet, Ian, before I slap.
We see the great amateur wrestling skills of Dalton Castle. Nice grunt wrench.
Not so great. He landed on his feet. How good a wrestler is he?
That speaks to the great agility of Mark Briscoe.
Let's make note that both Briscoes have both eyes.
Are you saying something about Marty?
Yes, Colt. We know we're very upset about my eye injury, okay? No need to rub it in, is there now?
Well, how's it gonna be for Supercard of Honor? Any word from the doc?
My eye will be just fine for Supercard of Honor.
As fine as Dalton Castle. Ooh, I was gonna say fine, but you can tell his ribs are hurting on that peacock stance. Have you taken note, Marty?
Here we see the World Television Champion Kenny King for the first time. He will defend the TV Championship against Silas Young. It's Silas Young's signature match, the last man standing bout. In there with former World Champion Jay Briscoe, one half of the tag team champions. The Briscoes, of course, will defend against the Dream Team of Jay Lethal and Hiroshi Tanahashi at Supercard of Honor. Hey! Got off the ropes, nice drop down by Jay Briscoe. Full head of steam into a sleeper.
Right into a snap sleeper.
Old-fashioned sleeper, I love it.
Yeah, well, it's not doing too well right now as these guys are back and forth trading.
Go behind into the hammerlock, swings out of it, maybe almost dances out of it. Great overhead hip toss. Kenny King, Dalton Castle have the advantage. Can they defeat the World Tag Team Champions? And the Champions Challenge don't go anywhere. Las Vegas, Ian Riccaboni, Colt Cabana, the villain, Marty Scurll. Champions Challenge match. Kenny King has been in the advantage during the break, and now the world champion, Dalton Castle, who will take on Marty Scurll, defend that Ring of Honor World Championship less than a week's time at Supercard of Honor, Marty. And the champion just tossing around.
Well, they're all champions, Ian. This is the opening match on television. The top wrestlers here in Ring of Honor. Not even the main event.
You're right, they're all champions. And you know what, guys? In a week's time, the villain will be champion, world champion.
Finally getting that title shot, huh?
After 505 days of being in his company, I will finally be crowned the world champion.
You know, Marty, the Kingdom run around as here's a cover. Maybe the Kingdom run around saying that there's a conspiracy against them. Marty, you've been dominating the Ring of Honor rings and not one championship match. Maybe a bit of a conspiracy against you?
I think you could be onto something. Obviously, I don't want to do their whole thing, but you're right. Why would I want to wait 505 days? I've won championships all over the world. I've made more than a name for myself here in Ring of Honor. But the blessing in disguise is I get to be crowned Ring of Honor World Champion at the biggest Ring of Honor show of all time.
Attendance records shattered. We know everybody will be watching on Honor Club as the world champion now, 2-on-1 against the Briscoes at this moment. And Marty, you have a victory over Dalton Castle. You defeated him in your very first match in Ring of Honor.
My debut weekend, my debut match, I defeated Dalton Castle. I did it back then, and I'm going to do it again.
And we might see the Briscoes defeat him.
Action is picking up here in Las Vegas at Sam's Town.
And on the outside, Mark Briscoe connects. Big knife edge chop.
Chop him, that's it.
Marty.
Slap him around. That's it. Slam him on the floor.
The villain trying to direct traffic.
Yes. Oh, hey, boys. How'd you like that, boys? Hey, you see that?
Oh, come on, Marty. No, what are you doing?
Damn boys.
Hey, what? You're trying to start a damn boy?
Man up.
Oh,
man up. Man up.
Marty.
Man up.
You got to be impartial here. I know you got a big match coming up.
He doesn't have to be anything. I'll speak for you, Marty.
I'm just a fan of the Briscoe.
Oh, right.
I've been watching the Briscoe brothers for years. Nothing against Dalton Castle. Nothing whatsoever. I'm just a big fan of the Briscoes. Everyone knows that.
Well, you've been, since you've joined us on commentary, you've been big fans of Dalton Castle. You've been a big fan of Jay Lethal, Punishment Martinez. Anybody you thought might have a shot at being the world champion, almost buttering them up, to accentuate the great record you do have. Let's not take that away from you.
You know what? I like all of those guys. You're the only person here I don't like, Ian.
Look at this. Dalton Castle, doesn't matter if he likes you or not, fighting champion. Great match against Jay Lethal. And now trying to make the tag to Kenny King. Nobody home, though.
Great tag team wrestling by the Briscoes. They are so good, Marty.
See, Dalton was hesitant there. He hesitated, and that led to his downfall. And it's moments like that that I'm going to take advantage of once I get my opportunity.
I mean, it's that hesitation that could lead to possibly a chicken wing, maybe a broken finger.
All the good ones. Chicken wings, all the hits.
Well, as we start to think about perhaps Marty Scurll's greatest hits album, the Briscoes performing a few of their favorite tunes of their own, cutting off the ring here. And I think this speaks to the difference between tag team and singles action. Kenny King, Dalton Castle, two of the great singles wrestlers.
Here's a question for you, Ian, right?
What about me?
When I and Colt,
thank you.
When I wrestle, who accompanies me to the ring? Nobody. I never associate myself with anyone. Dalton, on the other hand, he has to bring the boys up, 2 men, every single time he comes to the ring.
Well, let me ask you a question, Marty.
I never associate with anyone, yet he has 2 men with him at all times.
You have a staff jacket. It says crew member of a certain YouTube show.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Colt Cabana.
You're part of Bullet Club. Cover 1, 2.
What are you talking about?
That's a fact.
Come on, Briscoes.
It says cast member.
If you guys are not going to answer my questions, I shan't ask them.
Hundreds of thousands of viewers each and every week, just like we have here on Ring of Honor Wrestling. A shoulder tackle.
Dalton Castle quickly goes out.
You know what? I'm getting all fired up.
Yeah, you certainly are. As Jay Briscoe has Dalton Castle now on the outside. Really dominant performance here from the Briscoes. Oh.
These Briscoes don't even care about their own bodies. Look at that. Risking their own bodies.
Risking their own bodies.
Risking their own bodies.
Ring of Honor Wrestling will be back after this on Fight and Focus. We're back with Ring of Honor Wrestling.
Well, as we start to think about perhaps Marty Scurll's greatest hits album, the Briscoes performing a few of their favorite tunes of their own, cutting off the ring here. And I think this speaks to the difference between tag team and singles action. Kenny King, Dalton Castle, two of the great singles wrestlers.
Here's a question for you, Ian, right?
What about me?
When I and Colt,
thank you.
When I wrestle, who accompanies me to the ring? Nobody. I never associate myself with anyone. Dalton, on the other hand, he has to bring the boys up, 2 men, every single time he comes to the ring.
Well, let me ask you a question, Marty.
I never associate with anyone, yet he has 2 men with him at all times.
You have a staff jacket. It says crew member of a certain YouTube show.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Colt Cabana.
You're part of Bullet Club. Cover 1, 2.
What are you talking about?
That's a fact.
Come on, Briscoes.
It says cast member.
If you guys are not going to answer my questions, I shan't ask them.
Hundreds of thousands of viewers each and every week, just like we have here on Ring of Honor Wrestling. A shoulder tackle.
Dalton Castle quickly goes out.
You know what? I'm getting all fired up.
Yeah, you certainly are. As Jay Briscoe has Dalton Castle now on the outside. Really dominant performance here from the Briscoes. Oh.
These Briscoes don't even care about their own bodies. Look at that. Risking their own bodies.
Risking their own bodies.
Risking their own bodies to inflict pain.
Fans, the Briscoes have the advantage right now. Can they finish up the world champion and the world television champion? You don't want to miss this. Ian Riccaboni, Colt Cabana, Marty Scurll, less than 1 week away from Super Card of Honor. Championship challenge here. The World Tag Team Champions, the Briscoes, taking on Dalton Castle and Kenny King.
And it's been all Briscoes all day, and maybe I spoke a little too soon. Dalton attempting some kind of comeback here.
Yeah, he's in the wrong corner, trying to fight out of the back part attack. Kenny King the tag, yes he does. Kenny King finally back in this match, delivering those great jabs.
See, Dalton Castle has to rely on Kenny King to save him.
Well, what a great man to come in and save the day.
You're right, Villain. Supercard of Honor, nobody will be there to save him.
No one, no boys, no nothing.
And look at this, Kenny King looking great before his match against Silas Young, last man standing for the World TV title.
Speak too soon. Oh, you didn't speak soon enough.
Spinebuster, two. And so many people trying to stake claim to that World Television title. You know, Flip Gordon has a championship opportunity in the bank. Cheeseburger. We saw a little surprise back at 16th anniversary. But right now, Kenny King leaving that door open.
Uranagi?
Uranagi, Colt.
Wow, great Mark Briscoe, Uranagi. And as soon as Kenny King was able to come in like a house on fire, the Briscoe brothers, the tag team champions, the best tag team in the world, are right back at it.
Well, let's not go too far. Best tag team in the world now.
I thought you don't hang with anybody.
I don't hang with anyone.
Yeah, there's nobody that might come down and help you. Number 1, 2.
But I do sometimes hang with the Hung Bucks. Okay, best tag team in the world.
But you know no one that might be able to help you.
No one. I'm a loner, I'm a villain.
You're a loner, you're
a
rebel.
Hello, Dalton Castle.
Big uppercut.
Hello. Here's a streamer.
Jay Briscoe.
You're doing real good. I see Kenny King saving you. You just stay over there, that's right.
Jay Briscoe, Kenny King, so many wars between the two of these gentlemen, whether it was ANX and the Briscoes. Look at this, Jay Briscoe, so dangerous. Up on the second rope on the inside,
Wow.
Mark Briscoe taking.
As soon as Dalton Castle climbs up, Mark Briscoe is right there to capitalize. It's that tag team.
Flex.
This has been all Briscoes.
Certainly has. Froggy Bow looking great ahead of their defensive supercard. 2.
Oh, come on. That's blatant cheating. Come on. You can't do that. He's not legal.
Don't
come
yell
on.
at us. Yell at referee Paul Turner
Paul
over there.
Turner. That's what you get, Dalton.
Wow, look at these two trading heavy leather. Wow.
Dalton Castle finding something in the tank.
Yeah, going into that reserve. Catches him. Wow. Ooh. Goes for the kick. Wait a minute, exploder. For Kenny King, the TV champ now. With an opportunity, shotgun knees in the corner. And suddenly you're at a little bit of a loss for words, Marty. Uh-oh.
Oh, looks like Silas Young coming down the ramp. Maybe doing a little scouting. Is he supposed to do some commentary also?
No, we only have room for one more, and Marty's already here.
He can come join us if he likes.
We had another headset, which we do not.
And Silas looks tired.
And that connects with the big right. That big brawl last week set up officially the last man standing. Hurricane Rana for Jay Briscoe.
Beautiful.
Oh, wait a minute. Jay Driller. Oh, no.
Later.
Hooks the leg. 1, 2. The World Tag Team Champions win Champions Challenge.
Who is to the match? The Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, the Briscoes.
And if it wasn't for Silas Young interrupting the flow of this match.
No. The Briscoes had this one from the very start, Ian.
I would agree they were dominating this match, but the exclamation point on this was Silas Young.
Great victory there. Great fine victory there for the Briscoe brothers.
Silas Young grabbing the attention of television champion Kenny King, and now grabbing his TV title, standing over Kenny King. That's a statement being made right there.
On the next episode of Fight and Focus, be prepared for some serious action. Dive deep into the world of professional MMA. Expect boxing and kickboxing. Strap yourself in for some solid pro wrestling action. That's all for today, Fight fans. Tune in next week for more excitement from the world of combat sports. Download the Fight TV app from Google Play and the iTunes Store.